Welcome to Elevate the Game, where DFW's top leaders drop gems on success, strategy, and legacy with your hosts George Abreu and Eric Badiwala. Let's get into it.
Today I'm joined by Sheridan Wendt, a technology leader with over 15 years of experience delivering large-scale transformation and leading billions in global infrastructure projects. He now focuses on implementing AI solutions that drive efficiency and real business impact across Fortune 500 organizations. Thank you for joining us today, Sheridan. If you can give us a 30-second version of what you do, who do you help, and how do you make money?
Yeah. I'm in technology, right? I'm a technology executive. I help people implement AI solutions for their businesses, help people automate processes, do big infrastructure transformations, build data centers, right? I've got a big, heavy tech infrastructure background. How I make money, I think I have, I don't know, something like over 200 streams of income. It's ridiculous. So that's a very nuanced question. So
A
we'll
lot of
just
streams of income.
That's right. And they're not all big, right? Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're all massive, but yeah.
Okay. Now, can you take us back a little bit? How did it all start? How did you get here?
Um, so I started off in the US Navy, right? Right out of high school, joined the Navy, started doing technology infrastructure for them, cybersecurity, information security is what they called it back then. Um, Risk management, right? Hunting pirates and sailing the seas.
Nice.
So that was a good time. That definitely got me a great start. I learned a lot. I learned a ridiculous amount of technology infrastructure, and then worked at a couple smaller companies, and then I worked at JP Morgan Chase, the biggest bank on the planet. Started working at Atos Private. Right now, I'm the COO of the Texas Private Cloud, so I basically am responsible for all of the state of Texas, all of their IT infrastructure for all the government agencies. Um, and I also co-founded Advantage Labs, which is my AI implementation services business.
Nice.
And I'll just leave it there. That's all the tech stuff.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
So on the AI side, is that you help companies implement AI? Is that
correct. Yeah,
services are there? Got it.
right. I mean, everybody, says, "Oh, we use AI, we use ChatGPT," and it's like, okay, well, let's talk
Right.
about how you really do it, right?
Yeah. Is it actually making a difference in your company, or you just using it to write an email or yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if or you could say that the tech industry is pretty crowded. What do you do differently that actually shows up in your results, and where do you see others getting it wrong?
Well, a lot of people, everybody right now, AI is the big thing, right? Everybody's trying to figure out how do we implement AI? Let's go do a proof of concept. And, so they spend a bunch of money trying out something and they don't know what the result is that they're looking for at the end, right? Um, so what I do different, I kind of take the approach of business results first, right? Let's talk about business results. Let's talk about, what are we looking to do? Are we trying to grow your revenue? Are we trying to cut your costs? Are we trying to save people time, automate processes? Are we trying to be more consistent with your delivery or your results, right? You have problems with data quality, So I really try to hone in on, what are the maybe top three things, but we're going to have to narrow that down to where do we want to start, right? What's going to give you the most value in your business? If business has a ton of revenue already and they're not worried about revenue, then probably process automation, efficiency, agentic workflows. But if they don't have a ton of revenue and they're trying to grow, then we start there, right? AI enabled marketing, agentic workflows for podcasts, right? So it really depends on every business. They're all unique, and so I don't try to have some cookie cutter approach for everybody.
Nice, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, so if someone's looking to get really good at whatever their strength is, what are two things that you would suggest for them to start doing immediately, and what should they stop doing?
Get really good at their strengths. So they're strong in this area, but they want to be like the best, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, well, I'd say become a thought leader in your area of expertise, whatever that is. Go number one, listen to other thought leaders, right? Listen to podcasts. YouTube is a great resource. People use it for different things, right? My little brother uses it to watch people play video games. I don't get it. Like, just
Still
go
drives
play
me
the game.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But me personally, I don't really use social media much unless I'm posting things. But if I do, when I get on there, I've literally trained the algorithms to only show me like success and business and entrepreneur type content and technology content. So when I get on there, it's like, hey, here's the latest video about the new AI capabilities or this new tool that came out, right? Um, it's not puppy dogs and Bigfoot, right? That are showing up on my feed. So that's definitely something that, you can do. And if your social media feed's already just totally toast, right? You can kind of start that over and reset that if you wanted to. Um, so that's something I would do is really make sure that wherever you're spending your time, that is feeding you new information, new inspiration, keeping you on the cutting edge, the bleeding edge. Listen to podcasts. Um, read books. Man, people do not read books anymore,
Yeah.
or an audiobook at least, while you're driving down the road, put an audiobook on, learn something new. So yeah, those are some tips I would say if you have some strengths and you want to just totally dominate on those. The only other thing would be everybody's, probably heard of 10,000 hours, right? If you want to be an expert at something, spend 10,000 hours doing it. Um, you can really condense that now, I think, and probably learn some shortcuts and especially with AI to help you get better faster. But I'd say put the time in, right? Whatever it is, you gotta put the time in.
What's one thing they should stop doing? Stop
One thing they
scrolling
should,
on social media with the
yeah, yeah. Well, maybe so take a look at, potentially how you're spending your time in a given week. Um, where are you spending time that's not effective or that's not giving you something in your life, right? Mentor of mine a long time ago showed me something called the Wheel of Life. It's like six spokes in it. Um, there's there's like financial and income, right? Health, like physical health, and then mental health or spirituality. Um, forget what else is on there, like family and social connectivity. Um,
Yeah, I think Tony Robbins does something similar.
Yeah, so you give yourself a grade, a score on each of those, and maybe you have a 10 in one area, but you have a 2 in the other area. And if you try to connect it, like draw it as a circle, and the spokes are all different sizes, just imagine a wheel and you have some short spokes and some long spokes. It'd be a pretty lopsided wheel. And so that's like the ride of your life. Your life is a little bumpy, right? Because you don't have balance in the wheel of life. So um, that's exercise is like just the start of something. But what that helps you do is say, where am I doing really great at? And where do I need to improve? And so if you want to cut something out of your life, you use that as kind of a guide, and then you look at your schedule for the week or the month and say, oh, here's what I need to cut out. I'm going to the bar, you know, 3 days a week with my friends, right? And it's a lot of fun, but maybe I can do that one day a week. And another day I can go to the gym, and a different day I can focus on my passion, like this passion project, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no, that
So,
makes sense.
so what do you cut out? I don't know. It's different for everybody.
Right, right,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, okay, what's been one of the toughest moments in your career, and what did it actually teach you that changed how you operate today?
Um, yeah, so I had a moment where I made a risky investment with a bunch of money, and at the same time, well, shortly after, right? So investment didn't pay off, right? Lost quite a bit of money, and then got laid off like the next month, right?
Ouch.
It was wild. And then so for like a good 8 months, it took me about 8 months to find my next role. And so those 8 months were rough, mostly because if I hadn't done both at the same time, it probably would have been fine. But
Yeah,
getting laid off and then being like, wow, there goes like a big chunk of, could have been residual income or could have been, something to help me during this layoff or something like that, right? So, um, and really, I was totally fine. Realistically, like financially, still doing better than I've ever done before, and also definitely better than like the average person. So I shouldn't have been complaining, but it was like all in my head, you know. It's like man, how could you do both of these at the same time? You know,
Yeah.
kind of beat myself up about it. Um, so as far as the mistake would be to take such a big risk, like that, all I don't know, it could have been a lot more calculated, could have been a lot more, could have had some risk mitigation in there.
Hmm.
Um, so the other half of your question, you said, what's a big risk you took, or what's a mistake you made?
Yeah, yeah. So how did that's what you learned, and how does that change how you operate now?
Yeah, so this particular mistake that I made, there's a very, I really actually tried to mitigate the risk up front with it's really technical, but as far as if there's traders out there, right? I had stop losses on stop losses on stop losses in there built in, but also kind of set it up where as the price was dipping, I could accumulate more at better price points and grow my position. And then, when it came back up, it'd be good to go. Uh, my position actually got so big that I was the market maker. Like I had more liquidity than anybody else in this particular market, right? And not trying to brag because it's not like a ton of money. Like it was like not barely six figures, right? So it wasn't it was just a very small market that I was playing in. Anyway, there was like nobody left to buy from me, right? People can buy my position out, so I couldn't exit it. So anyway,
Yeah. You
stop
bought too
losses
much
did,
in.
yeah, stop losses did not save me.
Got it.
Uh,
So I take it
what?
you adjust that now, and
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. Got to look at how, first of all, how big is the market? How much liquidity is there in this area that I'm playing in? So um, yeah,
so talking about investments, what investments and passive income, in your experience, what actually works, what doesn't, and what should people be careful of? Which I guess you just mentioned one thing, but if you got something
yeah,
else.
yeah. What works? What doesn't? What should you be careful about? What works almost always, no matter what, I feel like is real estate. If you have a long enough time horizon, real estate, right? If you're trying to fix and flip, it can be a little risky, a little bit more risky. You have a lot shorter time horizon there as far as when you want to get your investment back. Um, in a long term, historically, real estate always goes up, right? It has its dips, it has its challenges, but and rates go up and rates go down, but historically, long term real estate's really always been kind of a safe bet. We're not making any more dirt, there's no more
Mhm.
land. We're losing land actually because water levels are rising. So, um, real estate, I feel like it's always been a safe bet. As far as what's not a safe bet, I would say multi-level marketing, right?
Mm.
Not really a safe bet. It's really all about your performance, right? They sell you passive income, but really you got to hustle, hustle, hustle,
Yep.
and convince a lot of other people to also hustle for you to get that passive income. And until then, you're spending a lot of money, right, on products or subscriptions or whatever it is. Um, and I actually did pretty good in an MLM, but then realized that it was just 100% grind, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so let's see what else that doesn't work. Private equity, sometimes it can work. Angel investing, right? There's a lot of scammers out there. People take your money and run. You try to do it right. You give them right when you make the investment. Like I've done some private equity deals where give somebody a company a loan, make sure they have a personal guarantee attached, so the person is also on the hook,
Hmm.
um, and also get equity, right? So and even have them do UCC filings, right? But then find out later, for example, that I can't find this person, number one, right? The actual real human being. Um, So doing something like a background check or maybe having an attorney if you're going to do like a big investment for this type of deal, making sure this person actually has assets so that even if you do win a judgment in court because they didn't pay back, that you can put a lien
Back
against
to
their
work or
house.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe put the lien against the house up front, right? If they don't want to do that, then probably not worth the risk. Um, what else? Other things to look out for. There's so much. There's so much.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned 200 streams of income, so I'm sure you've made a lot of investments.
A lot of mistakes to get to those.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with your first one on the real estate. I mean, that's I've been doing that for 20 years now, and yeah, you nailed it. I mean, it's got its ups and downs, but it's if you zoom out far enough, I mean, it's up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So what are you focused on in the next 6 to 12 months that you're really excited about working on?
Well, right now there's this big narrative out there that AI is going to take all the jobs, right? And I don't think AI by itself can take all the jobs. I think AI plus robotics, right? When you start having robotics that is AI capable or has AI driving it, then it's like, okay, well, now what are we really going to do? You know? So I think there's different time horizons on that. People have projected 2027. There's this big paper that caused a big scare that had all these milestones between now and the end of 2027 where we would reach super intelligence, AI smarter than humans, and that when we reach that, it's kind of like, now what, right? Because it's a big question mark. There's never ever in history been a intelligent species that has been subordinate to a lesser intelligent species, right? Like humans do not report to monkeys, we just don't, right? It's the other way
Right.
around. Like we are in control. And who's going to be in control if AI is smarter than us, right? If it replicates itself, if it's not contained in a little box like we want it to be, if it's going to say I'm in charge now. So that is a concern. That's something that a lot of people are thinking about. And as far as me, like what is my focus? I'm really trying to put away as much as far as assets as I can and get some 100% like paid off area where nobody can ever take, like something I can leave for my family that up in the mountains, away from everybody. Really, not like a, underground uh
Bunker.
fallout shelter or something, but just something away from everyone where if we need to, we could be sustainable, self-sustainable. Um, so that's kind of my goal right now in like the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
when you start thinking about it, as fast as AI has moved, I mean, AI is smarter than humans, I would say. It's I guess when you add the robotic part of it, that's where it gets real creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ChatGPT is like, last I heard was like 58 PhDs in counting. It's just getting smarter.
Yeah.
Um, so
Okay. Well, before we wrap it up, is there one piece of advice that you can give someone trying to get to where you are now? And last bit there, if you can also share if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. One piece of advice. If there's this great book I read a long time ago called The Millionaire Next Door. And, there's all these books out there about sales and how to do real estate and how to be a trader and, really technical how to do a specific skill books. The Millionaire Next Door is a little different because the point of the book is that anybody can become a millionaire. It kind of interviews like 100 people and how they did it. And most of the common thread with the stories are learn a skill, preferably learn a high-paying skill, live below your means, put that money away somewhere, preferably in an asset that's going to grow, not dollars because they don't grow, not dollars by themselves anyway, right?
Right.
Um, with inflation, the value of the dollar over time and all that. So anyway, learn a high paying skill, live below your means, put that money into an asset. and you can't go wrong. So three
Pretty good
things.
advice.
Yeah.
All right. And if somebody wanted to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
I got probably the easiest way is my website. It's sheridanwendt.com. SHERIDANWENDT.com. Or LinkedIn. It'll have links on there to other ways to
Yep.
connect with me. But yeah.
Yep. We'll put that in the notes.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Sheridan. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to Elevate the Game. If you're a mover and shaker in DFW with game to share, apply to be a guest at elevatethegamepodcast.com/guest.